Please pause for the moment of silence. Please stand for the pledges. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now for the Texas Pledge. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
An unlikely candidate sweeps the South while another announces a withdrawal from his campaign. We have your Super Tuesday coverage.
And we got all of your wrong answers on this week's Texans on Main Street.
I'm Radon Ray-Bear.
And I'm Bailey Staten. NHSTV Live starts right now.
Presidential candidate Joe Biden dominated the South on Tuesday. Biden roaring into the contention in the Democratic presidential primary that is starting to look like a two-way race between the former vice president and Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders.
We can't have a never-ending war between the parties. We need a president who can fight, but make no mistake about I can fight, but look, we need as badly, someone who can heal.
I tell you with absolute confidence, we are going to win the Democratic nomination.
And as you can see here, Biden ended the night with 9 wins, with Texas being a dramatic victory for the candidate. Also surprising was a sweep in Massachusetts, which is actually Senator Warren's home state. Sanders won in 3 states, Colorado, Vermont, and Utah. Sanders is still holding out hope for California as votes are still being calculated. And breaking this morning, former New York City Mayor Mike Bloomberg has announced that he is suspending his presidential campaign and endorsing Biden for the 2020 presidential election. This announcement closes out a costly run for the former mayor. It is reported that Bloomberg spent hundreds of millions of dollars of his own money to fund his late entry bid for candidacy.
Tennessee is in a state of emergency following the deadliest tornado seen in 7 years. Taking a look at the aerial view of destruction that killed 24 people and left hundreds of buildings in dismay. The F3 tornado struck before dawn on Tuesday while residents slept. Putnam County is what you are seeing here in this video, and officials state that they are working today to search 150 standing structures for 38 unaccounted residents. Ahead of the storms, East Nashville residents only had 6 minutes to prepare and get to safety, according to the tornado sirens for Davidson County.
Felt like a big rush of air pulling us up. And everything just started going away, rain started pelting us, kids screaming.
It is not immediately clear how many tornadoes struck the areas affected, as the same tornado might have hit several times. We know that 35,000 Nashville community customers are without power, and crews are having trouble getting to the affected areas due to the damaged power lines. And in the STEM hallway, Mrs. Williamson has made an inspiring wall to prove to students that anything is possible. The Wall of Famous Failures is an interactive wall consisting of many prominent influencers who have had some harsh obstacles that no one would ever know. Showing on one side of the card the obstacles and hardship a person has gone through, and then on the other side, when flipped, which prominent influencer they are today. The wall proves that no one ever remembers the failure, but they remember the success. This is a great way to show students that anything is possible and there are no excuses for not trying or giving up.
In our society, it has such a negative connotation, the word failure, that we're scared of it. We really need to seek out and don't be scared to fail, because that's where real learning happens. That's when life happens. That's our biggest lessons, is how not to do something, but also how to get up and persevere through it.
Thanks, Miss Williamson. Speaking of our library, Javier is with Miss Leroy here in studio with some news about a special guest they'll be visiting our school. Javier?
Thank you, Radon. Now, Miss Leroy, you have been promoting for a while now this new author coming to Northwest. Can you explain more on that?
Yes, Nick Stone is an author. She has written 3 young adult books. The first one was Dear Martin. Then there was Odd One Out and Jackpot. And we have multiple copies in the library, but she's coming to visit our school, and we're hoping that we get lots of kids that get to meet her.
And it'll be coming in the late March, right?
Yeah, she'll be coming March 31st, and one way that you can guarantee that you get to meet that author is by checking out and reading one of her books. So if you've read one of her books, you're guaranteed a spot to come meet her. Everyone else is kind of luck of the draw.
Now, for any interested students out there, can you tell us more on like what we should expect to experience like with this meeting of the author?
So Nick Stone is very much a writer of diverse characters. So her first book is very much in the same way of The Hate You Give, where it talks about racial issues. Her second book talks about LGBTQT issues, and her third one talks about the differences between someone who's incredibly poor trying to be friends with someone who's incredibly rich, that economic gap. So she has lots of cool stuff to talk about.
A lot of diversity and a lot of representation in the books.
Exactly.
So I hope the students be able to meet the author, and it sounds like a really interesting opportunity. Thank you so much for coming in. Back to you.
Thanks, Javier. Now, our athletes on campus have been busy. We have results from everything from soccer to softball. What can you tell us, Shelby?
Well, Radon, last night the Lady Texans softball team hosted the Saginaw Roughriders for their senior night. The Texans started the game off strong with a 4-point lead, but during the third inning, Saginaw managed to catch up, leaving the two teams tied. Don't worry though, the girls would turn around and score 9 more runs, winning the game 13-4. The softball and baseball teams have tournaments starting tomorrow, so make sure to wish them luck before they leave. The Texans soccer teams will play this Friday against the Colony. Girls will be on the road while the boys play here at home. It is the boys' senior night on Friday, so make sure to come support while we highlight our seniors. The Texan track and field team will leave tomorrow to compete in the Rigsby Relays over in North Richland Hills. Make sure to wish our runners luck before they head off. All right, that's all I have for sports today. Make sure to check in on Friday to see how the Texan athletes are doing.
Thanks, Shelby. Now, correct questions with incorrect answers. Clover is here with this week's edition of Texans on Main Street.
For this week's Texans on Main Street, we're doing wrong answers only. So my favorite color is potato. So what's the best way to make money?
So usually what I do is I'll sit on my couch and I look for some crumbs in between the sofa, and then I paint my dog's nails peanut butter.
Okay. So what's your favorite color?
Triangle.
Okay. So what's your favorite color?
Pizza.
So wrong answers only. Where's the best place for a first date?
Manhattan sewers.
My house.
What? I got a question. How do you drive a car?
Banana nut taffy.
No, Gatorade? What's your favorite food?
Salad.
So what's your favorite ice cream flavor?
Bananas.
Wrong answers only. What's your favorite number? Which is the best fast food restaurant?
Chick-fil-A.
Wrong answers only.
McDonald's.
No, wrong answers, guys. So what is your guys' professional titles?
I am the Chief Nail Design Coordinator.
Oh, that sounds great. How about you?
Head cashier at Chick-fil-A.
So where's the best vacation spot?
Fort Worth.
Wrong answers only.
Ireland.
Well, I was...
Sorry. The Mountain Dew on the guy's head, why did he have a Mountain Dew box on his head?
Yeah, I don't know. I was wondering the same thing. I was just going to ask you that.
And Miss Jackson and Mr. Barnhart's stuff, that was really funny with, being like a nail, was it like a nail tech or like a nail design? And then a cashier at Chick-fil-A. I would love to see Mr. Barnhart at Chick-fil-A.
Well, tomorrow we have a part 1 of a cutthroat cook-off on Gourmet Gabe.
And a spotlight on this year's Teacher of the Year.
Thanks for joining us today. This has been NHSTV Live.